You guys smell that? It smells... I don't know what that is. It smells like trouble. You know? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm too performative. Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Unsubscribe now. It's only gonna get worse. Welcome to episode 15 of Frieren. We are back with another episode. So what happened last time? Starting off last episode, we found out that it was Fern's birthday and Stark did not get her a present. Sein came to the rescue with his grandfatherly advice. Kind of funny considering, then Frieren came in and gave her advice. Obviously, Grandma's wisdom. Absolute cinema, okay? We love Grandma around here. There wasn't really a lot of action. We did get to see Frieren shoot a giant bird out of the sky. That was pretty sick. We got some more Himmel lore. Oh my god, the Himmel lore was amazing. I love the Himmel lore. Because we got to see Himmel get down on one knee and not propose to Frieren. I hate using that terminology or that, describing it that way. But we got to see Himmel get down on one knee and really, I guess, pronounce his affection for Frieren, right? In a very slightly different way. Obviously, it's not like a proposal, I don't think. Confirmed what I've been thinking all along, that Himmel really does love Frieren. And that is amazing to see. And I'm happy to see that. It's kind of interesting in that aspect because we know that Himmel now pretty much loves Frieren, but at the time Frieren was she was struck by it. She was unsure of how to truly feel about it, at least from my perspective. Later on, obviously now 50 years later, 80 years later, whatever, she's now starting to realize that she actually loved this guy. So that's cool. That's very cool. So that was kind of a big thing last episode. Like I said, the only big action thing was like the big bird. There was also the whole thing with Eisen where he could fall off a mountain and smash his head into the ground and be okay. It's funny to hear Frieren compare Eisen to Stark, because it's like, oh, you're both warriors. You both can do this exact same thing. But it's like, yeah, they're both warriors, but at the same time, one is a dwarf, one is a human, and that in itself makes them drastically different. I'm assuming you guys saw the last video or the last episode, or you're familiar with Frieren, so I don't think you need a perfect recap every time. If you do, you could let me know, but honestly, I kind of like giving just short ones here at the beginning. I have some theories I've been thinking of recently, and I don't really want to bring them up right this second because there may be some things that get shared later that kind of answer them. I'm going to try to be a little bit more down to earth with my theories as well. I like being crazy with them, but I also want to make sure that there's a possibility of those theories being true. And it's not just like, oh, Frieren is an alien from the planet Schmeckel, or something. I don't know, whatever I'm talking about. But I want to make sure that the theories are kind of at least relevant in the universe, and they're not just like these far-fetched things that make no sense. So far, I think I've done an okay job, but just know that I have more theories brewing, okay? They're brewing up here. Welcome to the video. We're doing episode 15 today. Smells like trouble. Let's jump into the video. Also, I know that you guys are going to see episode 14 before this, but today, I recorded episode 14 like right before I finished editing my first video essay. I would love to know if you haven't watched it, go check out my very first video essay, The True Cost of Immortality. It is very vaguely based on Frieren. It has a lot of Frieren references, also a One Piece reference in there as well. I really had fun making it. I wish the editing was a little bit more complex. It was very simple, but if you didn't watch that, I would love to have you over there. It's like a 5-minute watch. I will link it in the description and throw up a card or something. Yeah, I was very proud of it. It was a cool video. I wish I would have done more, wish I would have done better with it, but overall I think it was okay. Destroyed my YouTube analytics though. My god, dude, YouTube hated that video because it was 5 minutes and most of my content, like 90% of my content is like longer than 30 minutes. So YouTube, I guess, doesn't look at that one video and is like, oh, it's 5 minutes. Someone only watched 3 minutes of it. So what that means is that's 3 out of the 5 minutes. No, they look at that 3 minutes that person watched that 5-minute video and it's like, oh, this 3 minutes is terrible because why did this other person watch 45 minutes but this person watched 3 minutes? That's horrible. And it's like, okay, well, that kind of sucks because I thought YouTube would count each video individual. You know what? You guys don't care. My point being, the video essays are going to be far and in between, but I'll try to come out with more. It's just YouTube apparently does not like them because they're so short and different from my normal content, which is almost an hour sometimes. Sorry for another long intro, 29 years after the death of Himmel the hero in the Lob Hills. Okay. Oh, book time. I've never seen this book. That book design is new. Oh yeah, I didn't even look. I want to see it. You can't see her bracelet from here, but she is still wearing I guess it's going to be more noticeable because it's directly on the back of her head, but one of the gift that Stark gave her for her birthday last episode was the bracelet, and we learned that it was a mirrored lotus, which means Stark loves Fern. Is that foreshadowing? I don't know. What's his name? Himmel. I forgot the hero's name, sorry. We do know that Himmel gave Frieren a ring, which was also a mirrored lotus, which means love, essentially, or eternal love, right, is the exact description. So I don't know if that's going to come back later or mean anything between Stark or Fern, but Stark didn't know, by the way. My man was my boy was he was oblivious. I just want to see her wearing the bracelet is what I was getting at, you know. I'm going to be real, dude. If that was me, if I was Fern right there, I would be napping, dude. I would have been snoring there. The little Z's would be flying out of my head. I'm gonna be honest, dude. She looked like she was ready to pass out. I don't know why she got back up, dude. I would have just slept. Really? Wait. So Fern has been with Frieren for 4 years, plus the 5 or 6 years. So, have they been together for a decade yet? I guess it depends. Was she 9 when they met, when she was a kid? I guess that means she was around 8 or 9 years old. Well, no, because she's not quite 19. She just turned either 18 or 19 last episode. I'm gonna go with 18. Really, it doesn't matter, right? She was between 7 and 9 when originally, right? So it's been roughly 10 years. Somewhere between like 9 or 10 years would be my guess. Because we know that when she was there with Heiter, it was between 5 or 6 years and now 4 years. So yeah, 9 or 10 years. So she's probably, I don't remember if they mentioned exactly how old she turned last episode. I think it was 18. I'm taking a wild guess there, but I think it was 18. It could have been 17. Because I know Stark turned 18 in episode 12. Yeah, episode 12, I think Stark turned 18. Dude, I'm so bad on birthdays and remembering people's ages. I don't even remember my own age most of the time. And then, yeah, Stark's been with the group for a year. About a year. Which makes a lot of sense. It's kind of crazy because we've seen it in only a few episodes and it feels like that not that much time has passed. But yeah, because you got to think they spent 6 months at the cabin. They spent, 4 or 5 months at Granite's city town? Were they there for that long? I don't remember. I know they were there for a few months, I think, or at least a few weeks minimum. I don't remember the exact time frame, but yeah, 6 months at least in the winter. They spent some time, obviously between Granite and getting Stark and everything. You also have to include things like travel time, things like that, right? So you can't just say, oh, they were in a cabin for 6 months in this town for 6 months. Well, why did I go on that whole rant about travel time? Yeah, my point being that, yes, this makes sense. Stark's now been there a year, even though it doesn't feel like that is, I think, what I was getting at. And then I assume Sein's been here less than a month at this point. Roughly. He's probably been there roughly a month or less. Wait, let me try to guess this. So Sein said there's something this party lacks. I'm kind of curious, what did the original party have that... Also, I gotta say, I really like Sein's clothing. Now, obviously, Sein could make a joke here and say that it's missing a nice older lady. Remember, we learned that Sein loves him some older ladies, which kind of a base decision, I can't lie. Alright, anyways, party lacks. I don't know, dude. Just talk, Sein. I don't know, I gotta stop pausing. Yeah, okay. I was going to say something there, but I'm going to hold it till later. A thief. Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, so this is something I've been curious about, by the way. Frieren ran into mimics like 3 times or something in the first 4 episodes. 3 or 4 times, I think. It was a few times. It might have been less than that. I don't remember. But for some reason, we have not seen her run into a mimic in a while. Apparently I assume they're going to maybe do a flashback here. Maybe that's why they're bringing it up. But we haven't actually seen it happen in a while. You know? Oh, good. We are getting a flashback. Let's go, dude. It's been 10 episodes. It actually has. I swear, dude. It's been since episode 4 since we've seen her caught in a mimic. Bro, look how happy she is, though. She loves getting caught in these things. I do like the cartoonish aspect of the mimics, by the way. It's very cool. It's so funny because one of the few things I knew about Frieren before I started the anime, it was that she got stuck in mimic, or that she was always poking out of a chest. That is something people just know this anime for, right? And I would say people know it for the potion screenshot, where she's holding up the cloth dissolving potion. I don't even think a lot of people know what that means. I think a lot of people just see the face and they're like, oh, smug anime character, new PFP unlocked. I'm not gonna say anything about my past, but I may be one of those. We don't need to talk about it, okay? I'm not a LARPer, I swear. I'm just cute anime PFP, I've been watching anime long enough where even if I don't watch the anime, I have the pass, okay? I have the pass. What the hell was I doing? What am I talking about? The mimic, yeah. Well, I'm surprised that that's such a big thing within like the Frieren community or just people online who see that and like use it and just recognize the anime immediately from that screenshot. Yet it only happens like 4 or 5 times. At least it has so far, I mean. Obviously, we're only halfway through season 1, but still, you know, maybe they'll pick it up again. Just throwing that out there, you know. Oh, is it? Okay, hold up. One more guess. I'm locking in. We're playing Jeopardy now. I'm locking. Or how does Jeopardy work? What is that Jeopardy? Wait, is the Jeopardy the one that goes, "What is the thing?" Right. Okay. It does whatever that game show is. What is an old woman? Let's go, dude. 500 points. Let's go, dude. Oh my god. I blow myself away. Hey, don't disrespect Frieren like that, dude. She is the best old hag in all of anime. Frieren's about to release a new version of Zoltrak on my boy Stark right now that is specially designed to kill humans instead of demons. Dude should have kept his mouth shut. Yo, I don't think anybody's here. Oh, never mind, I lied. Oh my god, dude, she said the title of the episode. Oh my god, insane. That's always a funny thing to me whenever you have like have you guys ever heard of a YouTube channel called Jungle Mist? It's Mr. Gigi and can't remember the other guy's name and I feel like a butt. But but yeah, it's an amazing channel. It's really, really good. It's called Jungle Mist. I think they have almost 100,000 subs. It's not a small channel by any means, but they play like bingo with movies and stuff where like if something happens, then, you know, they do points and the other person gets a point and things like that. It's a whole game that they do with the movie. It's really interesting. One of the things that they do is if the person says the title of the movie inside the movie, you get a point, right? I always find that so funny whenever they say the name of the movie or the name of the episode or whatever inside inside the actual thing. And I know there's like this whole like subculture as well of people who make like edits. A big one is I think Breaking Bad. Like they'll make Breaking Bad edits to make like Walter or like Jesse or whoever say Breaking Bad in the show because I guess they think it's fun. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say that about Frieren because her name is literally Frieren, so they literally say her name like every episode. But it's funny when they say this is irrelevant. None of this matters. Why? The whole reason I paused. We've seen something like this before. Remember with the Einsam, they went into a town. It's probably one of those, right? It's probably one of those like scenarios, like one of those side quest adventures where they go to a town and then they experience some type of phenomenon like the Einsam, right? And so it's probably like a demon or some type of creature that is making these people fall asleep. Also, side note, I have not forgotten about the earrings, just so everybody knows. I'm not going to bring them up anymore unless some new information comes to be, but I'm pretty positive, I'm almost positive those are Flama's earrings. Now, obviously, there may be a reason why she hasn't always been wearing them. There may be a reason why she didn't wear them until after she met Himmel. Maybe there's some type of like power imbued in them. I don't know. Or mana imbued in them or power, right? I don't know. But I'm almost positive they are Flama's earrings. But maybe they looked slightly different from the screen captures that we've seen previously because obviously thousands of years degrade earrings, changes their shape. Maybe Frieren just changed their shape herself. Maybe she chiseled them to look a specific way to match her aesthetic better. There's a whole bunch of things it could be, but I am probably going to stop saying too much about them moving forward because I'm like 95% positive they're Flama's earrings at this point. So like Medusa. I'm all too familiar with Medusa. So apparently this is a spell or a curse. I guess curses are spells. But it puts people to sleep and turns them to stone, apparently. Like Medusa. See, I know some things, okay? Sorry. So you're saying that curses are spells that humankind have not yet been able to unravel? So are you saying Zoltrak was technically a curse before it was able to be reverse engineered? Is that kind of what is that kind of the same scenario, maybe? Where it's any spell that demons and creatures know, but humans still don't know or haven't been able to get a grasp on to the point where they can reverse engineer it or use it themselves? That's probably kind of what this is getting at, would be my guess. Or just understand it. I guess they don't have to use it, but just understand it, right? This explains it, but in better terms than I explained it, so... Okay. So this is going to be a special Sein episode to really showcase what he can do. So that's why we're in this weird side village that probably doesn't have like a major plot point, but it probably is still... It's still going to be a major point to showcase like Sein's skill set and why he's so valuable. I'm ready for it, dude. I'm ready for... I want to clarify something. I am on the Sein train. I like him. I think he's valuable. He seems like an interesting character. I like his development so far. I think it's interesting, right? I don't have any major issues with him. Now, obviously, he's going to leave the party at some point. That's an obvious statement. He's not going to be here forever. He's on this adventure to learn how to be an adventurer and adventure. He's not here to, for instance, he's not here like Frieren, and he's not here for the same reason like Frieren and Fern are. Stark kind of wants the same thing, right? He wants to be on an adventure, but his adventure is a little bit more, he's here for the journey. Sein is here because he made a promise and because he wants to see what it's like to go on an adventure. But I don't think he'll be here forever, right? He even hinted at that in last episode. Or episode, not last episode, it was episode like 13, whenever they picked him up, right, from his village. He even hinted and said, hey, I'm not going to be here forever with you, but I will go to a certain point with you, right? So we know he's not going to be here forever. Or that's me assuming. We know that everybody has their reasoning for going on this adventure. Dude, that's the second time I've confused myself. I think I'm yapping too much this episode. Oh, goodness gracious, dude. The curses and business of the clergy. Okay, so Sein is, obviously this is a Sein side quest to learn what Sein can do and how good he is. Things like that. So even with Frieren going through all of this work to find all of these spells, there's still magic out there, still spells that she is unable to use, because it says that the magic that the clergies use or that the priests use are only recorded inside of, it's only used by the owners of said scriptures. So does that mean that only a single person can use it, or only a single, does that mean the current owner is the only one who can actually use that magic, is I guess is my question. So like if Sein gave ownership to Frieren, he would no longer be able to utilize that magic, but Frieren would? Is that, am I understanding that correctly? Maybe, because here it also mentions that like the demon's magic, they don't understand the principles behind it. So that would be my guess, yes. At least that's probably a very dumb way to put it, but that makes sense. So there are spells that even Frieren can't learn. And it seems like there are chosen ones as well on top of that. The blessing of the goddess. So there are certain people that have that blessing. I wonder if Himmel got that. No, I know he didn't. Well, I'm assuming he didn't, but... So that means High Turn Sein both got that blessing? That's cool, though. That's interesting. So I guess that kind of proves why it's good to have a priest with you on the journey. But it also proves that no matter how powerful Frieren is as a mage, she is more of a... her and Fern both, by the way. Frieren and Fern are both more offensive and defensive mages who utilize combat magic, and then Stein, sorry, I am jumping into Solier right now. Sein is more, he's more the healing side, right? So if I remember correctly, I think Frieren or Fern, one of the two, know a little bit of healing magic. If I remember correctly, they know a little bit, because I believe they tried to heal Stark when he got bit by the snake. Or they could have just been identifying it. I don't know if they tried to heal. I don't remember 100%, but I think they do know a little bit. But I think now we're really seeing how valuable Sein is and how valuable it is having a priest. So I wonder, once Sein leaves, again, this is speculation right now. I have no idea if he does actually leave, but I'm assuming he does because even he said it, right? So I'm curious if he's going to teach Fern or Frieren, or if he even can teach them anything beyond what they already know, healing wise, because obviously Stark's gonna get his ass beat at some point in the future. Stark is just, I mean, he's an amazing fighter. He's a warrior, dude. He's the frontliner, dude. He's gonna do some incredible things, and I have so much faith in Stark. But running into demons is inevitable. Running into more powerful opponents is inevitable. Now, obviously, Fern and Frieren they can get hurt, right? They're obviously gonna need healing at some point too, probably. But Stark is very much in the front line. Probably why they call him a frontliner. Hold your applause, I know, but you get what I'm saying though. Stark is definitely going to be taking the brunt of a lot of the fights. So I'm just curious to see how the healing is handled after Sein leaves. But it's nice that he's here now. That does seem beneficial for the group. I like Sein. I think he's really growing on me, you know? So that's kind of like Lugnar's blood, just as an example, right? The GPS tracking. That's kind of cool though. That means Sein he was able to detect the location of the source of the curse. That's cool. That's really cool, dude. Dude, I love me a genius priest. I'm so sick of that corrupt priest. Get him out of here, dude. We need a genius priest. I'm sorry to all my Hyter fans, all right? Hear me out. Hyter was great, okay? He was great. I'm just joking. I'm just making jokes. I kind of thought this would happen, but I wasn't 100% sure. It's always Stark. Obviously, Sein can obviously protect himself from the curses. Frieren has the ability to understand when she's being attacked or being targeted, right? So I'm assuming she has some type of like protection thanks to her magic. And same with Fern, right? She's obviously probably taught Fern something. Dude, I feel so bad for Stark. Stark is susceptible to so many things that everyone else in the party is protected from, and I feel so bad for Stark in that sense. This is the second or third time this has happened. He doesn't have any. I mean, I like that about his character because he doesn't have anything special about him. He doesn't, and you can disagree and you can come up with all these different things, but he doesn't. Like, Stark is just this guy with an axe who just learned how to become a warrior. If you want to say he's a genius warrior, sure, dude, whatever. Go right ahead. I love Stark, actually. I've said it multiple times. Stark is probably my second favorite character in the entire anime so far. Frieren's first, by the way. I really like Frieren. I just really like her character so far. I think her development's been great, which I think, obviously, the anime's made for her to be the best, right? Or the number one, and she's kind of stuck at that spot. Stark is number 2, with a far gap. I love Fern. I like Sein. Stark is just way ahead of Fern for me. Maybe it's just because of the backstory from episode 12, but he's up there. So I say all this because I want you to know I love Stark and I love his character development. I think it's been amazing so far. It feels like he always gets the short end of the stick, is the TLDR, right? He shows off his fighting prowess every now and then and really shows off his power, but he always has to deal with the stuff that any other human has to deal with, which I think is great for his character. I just feel bad and I hate seeing that for him. Okay, anyways, I'm done being parasocial. Let's continue. Please tell me, oh my god. Okay, I have an idea. I want to throw this out there and I think it'd be the coolest thing ever. Please tell me they find the creature and Frieren and Fern either struggle to beat it or like can't beat it because it needs physical attacks, and Sein wakes Stark up for 5 seconds and my man immediately goes into overdrive. I want to see that so bad. So why would they bring up Sein being able to wake Stark up for only like 5 seconds is the right, why would they bring that up? That's such a random specific number or a random specific thing to say. I gotta stop hyping up Stark so much because I know something's gonna happen that's gonna break my heart later, where like either Eisen dies or, oh god, dude, I know something's gonna happen with Stark or like his surrounding, I don't know, associates. I know something's gonna happen. It's gonna break me, dude. Literally the only episode that's made me cry so far, episode 12. Go watch that, by the way. It is my least viewed episode. My emotions were all over the place. I was like 10 different emotions. Anyways, I feel like this is very specific. I feel like it's going to come back later is my whole point. Sein carrying Stark here, my boy, you know? And then, why is it always Stark that floats, dude? Why is it that they never float like a normal person who is awake? Why is it always Stark when he's fainted or asleep? This is like the 3rd time this has happened where they have to use their magic to make him float. Dude, he's literally flying. Like, he doesn't even have the ability to fly, and the only time he even gets to fly is when he's asleep. He can't even enjoy the flying. So I've also noticed this here, where, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if the reason that Fern almost fell asleep when they first got into the village was because of the curse. But I wonder if that was like a, oh god, I was going to say prerequisite. What's the word I'm thinking of? Like a preemptive attack or preemptive, whatever, right? It happened right before they got into the town or right as they entered. She started to fall asleep, almost becoming susceptible to it, almost passing out because of the curse, woke herself up and was able to keep herself awake for a longer amount of time. It's just interesting. I didn't think about that in the cart ride in at the very beginning, because she was falling asleep, and I thought that was kind of strange. I thought obviously she was tired, right? People fall asleep, but I wonder if that's what that was indicating. Oh, that's so nice, dude. Frieren put up a barrier to protect her kids. That's so sweet. Well, I guess that, yeah, I guess that answered my question. We're not going to get to see Stark woken up and go into warrior mode, I guess, but that's okay. Oh, I see. They're all falling asleep because even though Frieren and Fern have some stronger protection than Stark, than Stark, they still technically don't have Sein's level of protection against the curse. So they're all eventually going to fall asleep, but they all have different, I guess, levels of protection from it. That's cool. Okay, so the whole spiel about, oh god, please, I'm not cutting it out. I'm not cutting it out, dude. I went on like a 10-minute rant about Stark and how he always gets the crap end of the stick. I'm not cutting it out, okay? I'm not doing it. I spent too much time talking about it. But it's still valid, okay? It's still valid. Leave me alone. Whatever. He still fell asleep first, okay? Oh, that's interesting. Wait, Sein has battle magic too? I'm gonna let this play out. I don't want to say too much, but I wonder, does, I wonder if Hyter had battle magic. I don't remember if we got any flashbacks or anything where we saw him use battle magic. I know we've seen him use a lot, like a bunch of a variety of magic, right? Obviously he taught Fern the spell to create the butterflies, things like that. So we know he knows how to use certain spells. So I would think, yeah, Hyter probably did know some battle magic. I'm sure we'll learn more later, but that's interesting. Okay. That's cool on Sein's part though. That even if Hyter didn't, he learned. Bro, this looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I ain't gonna lie. I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, so I know my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, okay? I can't remember the name of this card, but this looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. So are you saying normal people have mana? So you're saying the average Joe Schmo and Jane Doe just have mana? See, I thought mana was specifically for people who trained it. Maybe everybody has a little bit of mana. Maybe it's like God, I'm not using. I've made too many Naruto references. I was gonna say it's like chakra. I'm making too many Naruto references in the Frieren videos, dude. My guess is that it's everybody has mana, but obviously like Frieren and Fern, maybe you have to train. Yeah, if it's talking about everybody, like all the villagers, what's stopping Stark from learning magic? I'm looking into this too much. I don't know. It could just be like mana could be life force or something. We're still learning about mana. We're still learning about how mana functions and everything in the world of Frieren. I have a really good idea of how it functions, and we know about like mana particles and things like that. I'm still questioning a lot of the things that revolve around mana because there's a whole bunch of different ways that mana could operate and how it could work. That's what I think mana is when I think of mana, is that it's just a pool that is usable by a being who utilizes magic, right? Or a magician. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's more like life force. I'm looking too deep into this. I'm ranting, dude. I'm on something else. Let's watch this cool fight with Sein. I'm excited to see this. I really want to see what Sein can do. Yo, my man just pulled out a book. Have you guys ever played League of Legends? You guys know Twisted Fate? Or not Twisted Fate. What's his name? The blue guy. Rise? Is that how you say his name? I don't remember. I've only used him a handful of times. Your boy here is an Ahri, Annie, Jinx main. Okay. I used to be an Annie main 100% of the time, but a couple years ago I switched up, started doing like 2 or 3 years ago I switched up now I use Jinx for like almost all of my games. And Ahri. I switched between Jinx and Ahri nowadays. I haven't really touched never mind, rephrase that. I have not used Annie. God, I gotta make sure I phrase things right here. I have not used Annie in a long time. To be fair, I haven't played League in like 2 years, or like a year. It's been like a year. I'm terrible, by the way. I'm horrible. Never went past gold. We learned a lot. We learned a little bit about this subspecies of plant, though. It's called a chaos flower, and it merges with the local flora to create a subspecies. But their weakness is in their core. So we're getting to see some cool fighting here. It's cool so far, dude. I'm glad we're getting some Sein fighting. Pretty cool. I gotta say, that was a pretty cool attack. That was a pretty good attack from Sein there. I mean, obviously, it got deflected. That plant parried the crap out of your attack there, but that's pretty cool. I gotta give it to him. Bro was flabbergasted, dude. Look at him. He is flabbergasted. They're not gonna kill Sein like 2 episodes after we met it. There's no way he dies. No, I refuse to believe he dies here. That brings up a good question. He said here if he's not careful, it could hit Frieren, but I guess maybe he can't then. Can he not create a barrier to protect her like Frieren did with Fern and Stark? I wonder if he's gonna fight this thing long enough where maybe they end up waking up. Maybe he does enough damage to it where they wake up. Or I wonder if he handles this by himself. I don't know. It's cool that we're finally getting some more action. Obviously, I like the little bit of action that gets kind of sprinkled in, like the bird and everything, but you know. It's always nice to see a new fight. I'm gonna talk crap on Frieren for a second. If he was to wake anybody up for 5 seconds, I think it would need to be Fern or Stark. Because in 5 seconds, remember, Fern is better at casting her spells than Frieren. Like, faster. She can cast her spells faster. If I had to choose between Fern and Frieren to wake up and I only had 5 seconds, or they were only awake for 5 seconds, I would choose Fern, personally. Just because, you know, Frieren's magic takes longer. And then again, I guess it depends on the spell, right? It depends on what she has to do and all that, I'm sure, but like which spell she uses and all that. I'm just giving an example, right? Just talking in a generic sense. We never got to see this before, did we? I completely forgot about this. We never got to see Hyter giving the speech to, I don't remember his name. I remember Sein said he was a gorilla, or like a gorilla. That's all I remember. I'm sorry to Sein's friend, I don't remember his name. But I do remember that Hyter said that he would talk to them and tell them stories of his adventures, but I just realized we never saw that. We never got that scene. I guess this is it. Okay. I understand that as soon as he woke her up, she obviously... Okay, let me get a better... There we go. That's a better screenshot for you guys. I understand that she immediately realized that it has it protects its core, and now she's probably doing her little, like, magic that goes around the person's head to attack them, you know, so they don't see it coming or whatever. Like, I understand that's probably what she's doing. But that whole, like, thing was kind of funny. Like, we had this whole backstory. Sein and his friend sitting down, listening to Hyter talk about how Frieren is a great mage, but... you should listen to her words. She's terrible at mutual understanding, but whatever she says, she'll do. Her words are truth or what, I don't know, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then he immediately wakes her up, and then she just does this. Bro is just flabbergasted at it. Maybe she can preemptively prepare herself for spells, so maybe she already had the spell ready to go. I don't know. It's just interesting how fast she can cast certain spells. I don't know, just how they kind of described it before, where Fern is quick at casting her spells, but Frieren is slower. Yet sometimes Frieren can cast them quicker. I'm sure there's something there. Like, there's a really good explanation. It's probably just something I'm missing. Anyways, the fight's over. Good fight. Okay, I was gonna say, why is she kind of the center of... Why did I even say anything? I already know the answer, dude. I already know the answer. Wait, are you saying Sein likes her more than the... I mean, look at the lady on the right. Dude, those gray hairs are doing something to me, you know? I mean, if Sein likes him an older lady, I mean, there is a prime example there to the right. I mean, come on, Sein. This is not even an older lady. This is... I think me and Sein might have different descriptions of older ladies. So I was right about that. She kind of immediately assessed that. Only 11 minutes in, by the way. Halfway through the episode. What the heck was that? Oh my god, dude. She's giving... For anybody out there who has seen the dub, I want to clarify, I've heard Frieren's voice in the dub. Episode 15, time slot 11:50. I don't want to go watch it myself, because I want to do a whole watch of the dub later on. Why am I bringing this up? Does the Frieren... Does she say this in the dub? You know what? Don't tell me. I want to be surprised. That was pretty nice, though. I gotta say, that was funny, how she just did her little, sorry, not that. She did a little hop, skip back, and then she just started flying, and then she just like did a little hop. You know, that was kind of cute. That's nice, though. I like how that keeps coming back, where Frieren's always just giving head pats to everybody who does a good job. Has Stark ever got a head pat? I don't think he has. I think that Frieren gave him a little pat on the back. We know Fern got a head pat, right? Didn't Fern get a head pat at some point? I think so. I could be wrong, but I think she did. So now, and then obviously... I think Sein got one last episode. Now he got one this episode. I think he got one. I don't remember, dude. I can't remember all the head pats. Has Stark's never got a head pat, though. I just feel bad for Stark. Okay, sorry. Go back. So, same time period, 29 years after the death of Himmel, at the fortress city of Vorg in the north. So they are still in the northern lands, but I guess the entirety of the northern lands aren't always covered in snow. So it could be a seasonal thing, obviously. Yeah, so it's probably like a seasonal thing then. Right, to some extent. I just realized this is supposed to take 10 years. So by the end of this journey, aren't Stark and Fern going to be basically in their 30s? Yeah, because Stark is 18. They've been together almost a year, so that's, 9 years? So he'll be, he'll be 26, 27 at the earliest. Fern would be roughly around the same age. I think they're only like a year apart max, right? A year or two apart, roughly. They would be in their mid to late 20s by the time they get to the Demon King's castle. Dang, dude, they're gonna grow up right before our eyes. They're halfway to they're halfway to the town where the CMA. Oh my god. They're only halfway to the CMA? We're not gonna get to see the CMA or... I'm sorry, I'm sitting here trying to pronounce the city. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I'm not pronouncing it right. This city right this one right here. See it, it's in the subtitles. I'm not even gonna try that. Then we can see here on the map, they're halfway. I see. Okie doke. Oh my god, look, Granite down there, dude. I miss Granite. Oh my god, I hope he's doing good. So we're not going to get to the CMA until like episode 17 or 18? If it follows the same logic, I guess, of like them being halfway here, then it's probably going to be like 17 or 18. Okay, no, I mean, that's fair. Makes sense, sure. I don't know. Honestly, watching Frieren has altered my time a lot. Like, I feel like I never know what to expect with like each episode. Each episode could take a few days, or each episode could take... I mean, like, in-universe time, right? So, like, the cabin that they were at was for, like, 6 months with Kraft. They were in Granite's town for multiple days, or I don't remember the exact time there, but it wasn't just, like, one day. However, this episode that we're watching here is over the course of only 2 days so far. roughly, right? Roughly 2 to 3 days. You see how like the time is very weird, and yeah, it does a good job of saying, hey, this is like 29 years after the death of Himmel or whatever, right? It does a good job of keeping you updated. It's just it messes with my time so much that I feel like, you think about it, in universe, they've been on this journey already for almost a year. Like going from where they were to now only being halfway to the CMA. It just messes with my time, you know? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh my god, they're poor. I'm looking at the hair. I'm basing this purely off the hair. I gotta stop doing this. I'm going to my YouTube channel. Did Stark's dad, I know Stoltz did Stark's dad have an eye patch? Why am I thinking his eye was cut? Was his eye cut? One sec. I gotta confirm this, dude. I really hope it's in the video. Are you serious? The one screenshot I have is when they don't have a face drawn on his dad. Wait, hold on. I'm legitimately going back through my episode 12 video right now because Stark's dad did have a scar on his right eye. I mean, I'm going too much into it. I'm sorry. Was that stupid? I don't know. I did all that based off his hair because they have similar colored hair. I know his is darker, but God, I'm sorry. That was a stupid thing. I just remembered his dad had something wrong with his eye, and this just made me think of it. Yo, out of context, this is crazy. This is actually crazy, dude. Out of context. Can anybody else... Okay, I know they're probably going to reveal it if it is somebody who Stark knows or whatever. I know it's probably not, but I hope at least somebody in the comments understands what I was getting at. I know I did that all based off the hair, but then I saw the eye patch and I remembered his dad had a scar there and whatever, dude. I'm going to shut up now. Oh my god, are you serious? His name is Lord Orden. Of course he's not a part of Stark's family. The dumbest take I've ever had in my life. Dude, I spent 5 minutes going through my episode 12 video just to see if he had a scar. Does my man not know who? Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, this Lord Orden guy, bro, is not starting off in the best. He's not starting off in a good place right now. First off, calling mommy... No, wait. No, hold up. Full stop. Wait a minute. Calling Frieren mommy is reserved for me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm jokes. Okay. Stop the comment you're writing. Yeah. Anyways, my man is rude. Bro is kind of being a butthole. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I don't know if I feel like Frieren has some type of history with him because she mentioned his grandfather, great-grandfather. Hold up, right here. Oh yeah, so he said your grandfather, or she said, your grandfather was a high-handed man too. So that means she knows this family, at least to some extent. And then obviously he says this where he's saying, I'm having a conversation with Stark right now. So he's basically ignoring Frieren, or no, he's not ignoring her. He's doing something worse than ignoring her. He's being, not facetious. That's not what I'm trying to think of. What's the word? He's being rude. Yeah, I think there's a better descriptor, but rude, definitely. He's being rude by being directly confrontational with Frieren instead of ignoring her, right? I wonder why he picked up on Stark, though. I wonder why Stark is kind of at the center of all this. Because he said he has a nice appearance and he has a nice body. So I assume it's not something fighting related. And to be honest, Frieren kind of looking like she does not want any part of this. So I feel like she kind of already has an idea of what's going to happen, or she knows the history of this family, which again makes sense because of the grandfather comment. And then this was kind of out of pocket. This one was kind of out of pocket. Dude, Frieren definitely got tilted a little bit here. I don't blame her. And then obviously Fern doesn't want them to leave because she knows they need the money. I'm a little worried this is going to be some weird request, but I don't know. Just the way he said he liked his appearance was a bit... Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if, No, I was going to say maybe he's looking for a doppelganger. Dude, I don't know why I just turned off Freaky Friday for a second, but I was going to say maybe he wants somebody to replace himself so he can sneak out and do so. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's stupid. So, they are related. I wasn't crazy. Please tell me the 5 minutes I spent going through my episode 12 video wasn't a waste of my time. Wait, so is this indicating that, or is this implying that Stark is potentially from a noble heritage? I mean, he's obviously from a long line of warriors, right, with Stoltz and his father. We saw that they were training to be warriors in his flashback, but I wonder if they're from a... So there's two types of warriors, obviously. There's multiple types of warriors, but just to simplify it, they're warriors who don't have the means to train like a knight or like a warrior from like a privileged background, right? Like they don't have training dummies. Like they're out there punching trees, you know? Yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. Sorry, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So I was kind of right. So he does want him to become, maybe he wants him to become his son. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to get at? I thought maybe he was gonna try to say he wanted him to be him, but obviously he's young and this guy's kind of old, you know. Bro, it's too early for this. I'm here watching Frieren at 2 a.m. and we're already 2 hours into the commentary, and we still have 10, probably around like 7 or 8 minutes, because I'll probably remove the credits to go. Oh, kind of like Granite's son. Yeah, just like Granite's son. Obviously, different scenario, but still fighting demons. Different demons, different battles. Same scenario to some extent. But why, assuming that this is what is happening, assuming that he wants Stark to play his son, why? Why would he want him to be his son? I mean, obviously there's a reason. I don't know if it's financial. I don't know why, right? I don't know the reason. We're going to learn, I'm sure. I'm just saying, I'm trying to think of what the reasoning could be, and I don't see it. I mean, I could think of a few reasons why, but nothing that really pops out at me like that's the exact, you know what I mean? Like, I could think of a bunch of scenarios, nothing that really pops out, or nothing that really is like, that's it, you know? One, actually, now that I think about it, there could be one, morale. It could be morale. It could be the fact that only certain people know that his son passed. Maybe he wants to do it to motivate his warriors, or like his knights or something, you know. That could be the only thing I could think of. I'm officially the god at detecting what's going on. All right, I am officially, dude, I know how to read fictional characters' minds. Nope, that was a shot in the dark. I'm gonna be completely honest, shot in the dark, and I got it last second. I mean, obviously it's not the craziest thing, right? But you know, can't even take a drink of water, dude. They're over here. So in 3 months there is a soiree, right, where influential figures are gonna show up, and they're gonna dance and do their thing, I guess. Sure, there you go. Stark needs to dress up as his son and basically act like everything is okay. The part that I paused about is not that, I'm just giving context. 10 gold coins. And then Frieren just says throw in a book. Apparently 10 gold coins can buy 3 meals a day plus snacks for a year. So basically this guy's gonna pay Stark and Frieren and Fern a salary all at once for what, like 3 months of his time. That's not bad. It's kind of funny that Fern is the one saying that, like, yeah, go for it, because I know she's like the time person who always wants to keep going. It's funny that Frieren doesn't want to do it, but Fern's like, we need this. It's that too. I didn't even think about that until Stark just interrupted. Nobody even asked him if he wanted to do it. No one even asked him if he would do it, or like, it's crazy that no one's consulting him at all. I just feel like he's gotten the short end of this stick the past episode. This episode, you know? Bro, me too. Yo, me next. Please, me next. I need to learn how to ride a horse. Sorry, I feel, dude, look how sad he is, dude. Dude don't want to ride a horse. He got to learn how to, what is this dance called? What is it? It's slow dancing. What is it called? Ballroom dancing. And then Sein is obviously oh my god. Everybody's relaxing, dude. Puff Fern here got her a little donut. Frieren got the tea. Sein got the corruption juice. And then Stark is just here. Dude, oh my god, dude. It's like, it's crazy that dude, nobody is consulting him. You already know what I'm going to say. What does this remind you of? Just imagine there's a clock tower in the background. Imagine there's a busy town around them and they're not in some castle. What does this remind you? I'm just saying, okay? Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying words. Words are just coming out of the mouth. I've been paying a lot of attention, by the way. Is she not wearing the bracelet? I guess her sleeve covers it, maybe. Maybe I'm too focused on the bracelet, you know? I don't know. Yeah, probably. I've just noticed she hasn't been wearing it, or it hasn't been present in a lot of the scenes. Okay, so apparently he already had a double prepared for his son. He didn't look as much like him as you do, though. Yet Stark has a giant-ass scar on his forehead. Like, no, I get what he's saying. It's just, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's sad. It's not funny. It's sad. His son is dead, and he wants Stark to pretend to be his son because that was his son's final wishes. It's sad. Not funny. But whatever, dude. If I keep talking, the hole is just going to get deeper. Like the hole his son is... No, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Sorry. No, okay, that one was uncalled for. I'm sorry. Oh, he has another son. Okay. Look, right here. Look. See? I wasn't crazy. If anybody in the comments called me crazy, because I know some of you pause the video and respond at the timestamps and then continue. If you called me crazy because I looked back at episode 12 on my video and said, oh, this guy's so stupid because whatever. Look, why is he training with a sword? Does Stark know how to use a sword? I don't think I've ever seen him use a weapon at all. I was going to say, I wonder if Stark ever ends up helping. His name is, I didn't see, I know his name is Mutt, or Moot. I don't know how he pronounced it. I don't want to call him Mutt because that feels disrespectful, but that could be right. I don't know. But I wonder if Stark is going to help him at all in his training. Just out of curiosity, because I know Stoltz did the same thing with Stark when he was a kid, yet I just wonder if Stark is going to have some type of, I don't want to say paternal instinct, but like braternal instinct, like brother, you know? Braternal instinct. Is that a thing? If not, that should be added to the dictionary, right? The braternal. Bro, are you serious? Bro, Fern's just in here chomping down on donuts day and night. Frieren sipping her tea day and night. Probably in the library just reading some books. And then Stark's out here working hard. Alright. Yo, are you telling me right now that Fern and Stark are going to be going on a date right now? Date time? Well, probably not this episode. I was about to skip ahead. Probably not. Yeah, we got like 2 or 3 minutes left here. So probably next episode we're going to get to see a nice little soiree with Fern and Stark. Ooh, their first date. Oh. Now, obviously, Fern is a classic tsundere. Well, you know what I mean. She's very like, she's not as she doesn't show her feelings, right? She doesn't wear them on her sleeve. She's very reserved. She was very sheltered throughout her childhood, right? And obviously she was raised by a priest, so there's probably some of that in there. So yeah, it makes sense for her not to show outwardly that she has emotions or feelings for someone else. But I do feel like there's like slight indications of it, like her looking at her hand after he touched it, and like her liking the bracelet that he got, or, you know, like I feel like they have some type of connection. Maybe it's not that serious, but they definitely have some type of connection, right? And it does seem to kind of be showcasing that a little bit. And I could be going too far with it, but we'll see. Oh my god, what is with this guy? Please throw the donut at him. Yo, poor Fern, dude. Why is she making that face? Bro, why is she breaking the fourth wall right now? Look, dude, look at this. Tell me she's not breaking the fourth wall by staring at us right now, dude. Saying like, what the hell did I just sign up for? Dude, tell me I'm not crazy, okay? Why she got a donut in each hand, though? Oh, crap, I forgot about Sein. Yo, Sein just kind of been doing his own thing in this town, ain't he? He's just been drinking and sleeping, pretty much. He's probably got it easier than Frieren does. Yo, she could? That was actually a crazy scene, though. That was cool how they animated that. Dude, I love whenever they animate stuff like this. They did it, too, with, oh god, it was in Granite's Town right after the fight with Lugner and Lenny. Remember the thing where it was, like, over Stark's shoulder, that POV, right? Or that, I don't know if it was like a POV or it was like an angle that just did not look normal, like in an animation. Like, this is that. Like, it's very cool how they sometimes angle these shots. And they can look really cool. They're a lot easier to do in normal filmmaking with like real subjects, but it's always cool to see how they do it in animations, because obviously animating is a lot more difficult because you have to get the perspectives and the angles just right for it to actually seem, I guess, for it to make sense, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I always find it cool when they do stuff like this. Oh, we're just here. Okay. 3 months later, I guess. I understand that it's a very common thing and it happens in a lot of shows, right? It's nothing new in animation. It's just always interesting to see how they're able to play around with the perspectives to make it a little bit more unique. I'm just a weirdo who likes animation, right? I'm just a weird guy. I've never been good at animation. I'm not an artist by any means. I suck at drawing. I have an old like Wacom tablet or whatever. I tried to do drawing a long time ago. I used to be pretty okay at it, but then I had a math teacher that picked up my paper, crumbled it, and threw it in the garbage can and said, I don't remember what he said, but he just threw it away, and I just kind of gave up drawing. And then I picked it up again like 10 years later, just to realize I suck at it. I'd love to start again, though. I don't think you're ever too old to start something or learn a new skill, or just do whatever you want with your life. You're never too old. You're never too young, you know? Like, you could be 5 years old and you can start a company. To all my 5-year-old fans out there, go start your LLC today. All right, start your limited liability companies, you know, go reach out to an accountant, get yourself a lawyer, you know, go do your taxes at 5 years old, you know, I'm proud of you. Good job. No, but really, you're never too old or too young to start something. If you have a dream, you want to do something, do it, you know. Maybe I should take my own advice. Let me know if you guys would like to see something like that. Maybe I'll make a video of me doing like drawing. I really admired PewDiePie's video. I don't know if you guys saw that. He did that maybe like a year or two ago. I don't know if it was quite that long ago, but he did a thing where he drew for like 30 days or whatever just to see how he improved. Anyways, are Fern and Stark gonna dance? They've been practicing how to dance this whole time, or the etiquette, but have they... I mean, is there like are they required to even dance though? Anyway, okay. I don't remember if they're actually required to dance. I like this scene. It's very... That is not the face of someone who is a friend. Okay. This is nice. It's a nice change of pace, you know? Is he upset? I'm going to be honest. I can't read this guy's emotions. I think he smiled like one time. Does he not like that they're dancing? I can't tell. My God, though, that is really pretty, though. I gotta say, I know I'm not talking too much through it. I kind of just letting it play, but I think this is probably the prettiest scene we've seen so far. I honestly thought we would not see this until next episode. I did not think we'd be 3 months right now into one episode. I fully thought that this would be like next episode, but I'm here for it, dude. Yo, is that Frieren in the background? Oh my God, it is. Best response I've ever heard, dude. Sein asks a very generic question, right? Should they dance? What do you think Frieren's response is? Let's see. The same response I would have. Sein, you gotta find yourself a nice older lady and dance with her, you know? Wait, his hair. He does have a scar. I noticed his hair. Why is his hair not slicked back? Did he immediately just like ruffle his hair immediately, like right after they got done dancing? He was like, oh my God, I hate my hair like this, and just ruffled it. Yeah, probably. Not what, rustled? I don't know, shook it? I don't know. I know it's not his father. I think maybe what they're trying to imply here is trying to give that sense of... I'm trying to think of where it was I've seen something similar to this. Where it's like, oh, you can't replace my father, you can't replace my mother, my son, whatever. It was something else I watched. Something else a while back, and I can't remember what it was. I mean, it's a very common thing, but I think what they're trying to imply here is with the scar and trying to make him seem like it was potentially... He's very father-like, similar to Stark's father, but Stark has come to terms with what he experienced to some extent. I know he's probably still has some resentment or some things that probably still haunt him and things like that, but I feel like this is him not faltering, you know? Or you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm questioning things too much that don't need to be questioned this episode. This is the first time they've done this. They're adding the credits in to the actual scene instead of playing the outro. Okay. I mean, they're probably still going to play the outro, but I think this is the first time they've done this. I don't really know anything else to add to this. If you watched until the end, I'm sorry that I was a little bit all over the place on this one. This one was weird because I kind of just started questioning things out of the blue. I don't know why I had so much to talk about here. But it was good. I really liked the episode. It was really interesting. I do wish that I was a little bit more clear on a lot of the things I was saying. But overall, I think that I kind of got my point across in a lot of the places that I was... in a lot of the things I was talking about, I think, to some extent. I definitely did not expect to see a Fern Stark dance this episode. That one kind of blew me away. I thought that would happen next episode, if it happened at all. They prepared all of that for 3 months just to be on screen for like 5 minutes, which was kind of funny. The fight with Sein was cool. I liked seeing that. It was pretty nice. I'm glad we got to see some action from him. It was kind of funny seeing Frieren just obliterate that plan out of nowhere. I don't have anything else to add. I think that's going to do it. I appreciate all of you watching. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for joining me on my journey here before it ends. Get it? Because anyways, I will see all of you in episode 16.
"私を見